starting at 7.
Are we all here? Oh, was Nick not playing tonight?
I thought he was, but he doesn't appear to be in here at the moment.
Okay, I guess he's still unconscious. So, quick recap then for you folks. Last session was a bit of a, you wandered round in a bit of a circle after kind of rescuing as much of 10 times as you could from the dragon, making sure as many refugees safe and sound in the town, and Velin finally calling in on her end of the bargain, should we say, whereby she would like you to help her find this lost city that she believes is somewhere up here in the north. She told you about a couple of things that she needs, or she believes she needs. One is an item called the Codicil of the White, which is a book, or pages, or manuscript of some description, containing sort of the tenets of the faith, written by the followers of the Frost Maiden herself. She believes that will be the key to opening the entrance to this city. She believes it's somewhere under the glacier, the Reged Glacier over to the east. The second thing she needs to know is, where is this door in the glacier? The glacier is huge, covers kilometers and kilometers of area up in the north. So she wants the key, but she also wants to know where the door is. She'll give you a few clues as to where each of these things may be found, or at least be able to get more information to find each one of these things. One she mentioned was a stone circle, or a meeting point for giants, frost giants of the area. Not so much used anymore. It's more like the equivalent of a graveyard, should we say, or it's a place of ancestral significance to the frost giants. So it's not in regular use, but it's somewhere that they make pilgrimage to from time to time. What was the other one? The other one, well, she told you a story about when she first arrived up here in the north, and she arrived with some of her companions from the Brotherhood. They lost trust in one another very quickly, should we say, and decided to part ways. One of those companions, a mage by the name of Nas Lantamir, stole Velin's Professor Orb, which she was using and consulting with regularly to help her find details of what she's essentially tasked you with finding out. It's a magical item. It's a bit like a crystal ball, I guess, but it's almost like a repository of specific knowledge, like an encyclopedia almost, and she's using it because it contains lots of information about this lost city, the civilization of the Netherese, the Netheril peoples. She's been doing a lot with that. She's lost it. It was stolen from her. She believes, she's done some investigating of her own, that Nas Lantamir was looking for a ship. And that's as much as she knew. So she suggested that you either try and find a ship to pick up on Nas's trail to find the Professor Orb, which will help her get more information. She suggested that you either go to this frost giant's sacred ground to maybe consult and maybe seek answers. Was there any other clues that she gave you? She mentioned that a member of the Brotherhood from a few years back now was on a similar kind of quest, but kind of got carried away with himself and tried to sort of take over almost 10 towns, and He was quickly apprehended and sent to a prison, again further up to the north towards the coast, a place called Revel's End. She believes that he may have found something about this place, maybe even where the location of the gate is, before he got apprehended. So that's another lead that you may choose to follow up on at some point. And with all that, start the clock. I have one. What would you like to do?
Who's going to be the first to make a suggestion?
Yoselm is still with you. I think you employed her at a generous rate for her services for guidance. You were talking about, well, it's the other main thing that we finished up on last session actually was Duvessa Shane, the speaker of Bryn Shander, had received a message, piece of scratched rabbit hide, dried out rabbit hide with a message, and it was from the goblin leader. These same goblins that had been harrying what few trade wagons had been able to get up to the north of late. What with the weather, and what with the attacks from these goblins, supply routes, supply wagons have been few and far between and become even less. This note has would appear to be suggesting that the leader, one Yarbnock, would like to parley and perhaps broker some kind of a truce or peace treaty. Duvessa had asked if you would consider looking into that. Some amongst your party are from this place, so probably know it better than some.
Seem to recall we'd been told about Yarbnock by someone that knew him, Eris and Snitch, and that perhaps doesn't deserve a parley.
More than that, they might attack 10 towns whilst it's weak, so we want to head that way.
Yeah.
Are we picking up Velen?
Well,
It would make sense.
We could tell her what her plans are. Neven's still resting, right?
He's not fully compass mentis. It took quite a strain.
We could always ask. Sorry.
Whatever happened to him took quite the strain.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we could ask Velen to keep an eye on him and let us know if he wakes.
Or I have a feeling he should be better by the time we get there, so we could go pick him up and pick her up, and in return for helping her with her little task, she might lend us her kobolds if we need them for infiltrating this, what is it, a goblin fortress, a camp?
The fortress.
Yeah, that sounds like we could use more people.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like this Yarbnock needs dealing with, but let's be clear. If we're invited there to parley, it would be dishonourable of us to attack him.
I don't think honour's too important with Yarbnock.
It is to me. Well, I do.
Friends with honor.
Well, then we don't go under hospitality rules. We just go. I know it sounds petty to you all, but if word gets around that we go to Parley and then murder people, the Breakfast Club name won't be as good as it is now.
Well, we've
Oh, look,
already-
Neven's feeling better.
Neven's here.
Hey, buddy.
Hello.
We were just saying how much of a toll everything had taken on you, and you were probably going to be unconscious. But he's suddenly feeling better.
My personal view is that we should go check on Neven. And then perhaps go to Yarlmoot on the way to the goblin camp. It's just my suggestion, or the other way around.
It's still the same direction. Let's just start traveling.
It kind of is the same direction, but it's about... it's quite a lot of miles different depending on which direction you go. They're 15 miles apart. Yeah. If I'm honest, if we go straight to the goblins, it's over 30 miles. It's not really one day's travel. We'll need to take more than one day. We could probably get to Yarlmoot within a day, rest, and then easily get to the goblins within a day. With the dogs, of course.
Yeah. Let's do that then.
Okay, so it's about 4 in the evening. If you want to set out now, or if you'd like to make any further preparations or try and get a rest in, you want to go and check on Neven, right?
Yeah, well, Neven's in Targos, isn't he? So, 4 o'clock, dark, I guess.
There's no real light, and there's no real dark, because as soon as the transitions from day to night, the aurora kicks in, takes over. And
Okay.
normally tonight it's full moon, quite strong, in addition to the aurora. So it's still low light even at night.
So we could head for Targos now and be there in time for dinner. And sit and check on Neven. Do we need to give the speaker an answer on whether we will parley?
I think we can let him know that we're going to find out if it's a genuine parley. By the sounds of his new advisors, it isn't. And if that is the case, we will deal with that.
It's a trap. Okay. Well, get your coats on then. And we'll head to Targos. We'll see how Neven is.
So you make your preparations, gather your gear, your winter clothing on, as you've done many times before, so you know to prepare for the weather. As you guide the dogs clear of the northwestern gate of Bryn familiar figure steps out from out of the north, look in fact, and just holds a hand up, bids you stop, but doesn't stand in your way.
Well, I will stop if no one else does.
As you get closer, you realise it's the Sheriff Markham Southwell. You did meet him briefly very early on to the towns. Well
Good
met.
evening, Sheriff.
Good evening. I am aware of the task given to you by the speaker. I'm sure you don't need advice from one such as me who has less travelled, but you know this offer is not to be trusted.
I think we do. I don't think it's our intention to parley. I hope I'm not speaking out of turn, everyone, but our two small friends here have given us a lot of information about this Yarb Knob, or whatever his name is.
Well,
And I
now
think
more
it
than
would
ever,
be-
we need the trade routes open. We need caravans travelling freely to the few towns that are left standing to support these people. Food is scarce. Everything is scarce, scarcer than normal.
Yeah, we appreciate
Goblins present only further raids and harrying of these caravans.
that. I would a suggestion. To the south, in the mountains, is a fortress, and there you'll find some deep dwarves, Dwergar, I believe they're called. We've already made contact with them, and I think they may be friendly and willing to trade. From what I can gather, their food is from beneath the ground, not above, so maybe they'd be willing to trade with you.
Didn't
You
make
just
me
mentioned. No, exactly. I think the thing we need to be mindful of is I've had my eyes opened by my two friends here. Well, one friend and maybe a friend with a bit more time. But goblins are no different. I'm joking. But goblins are no different to us, really. They're a product of their society and of their environment. And under this Yarbnock, it seems that, yeah, it's not a good life choice. If we deal with Yarbnock, maybe we can broker some kind of peace. Eris and Snitch's people. Maybe open trade instead of disrupt it.
That's your call to make. You have authorization to make these talks from the speaker herself. I only offer my own opinion, and that's all it is, an opinion. The news of these Durgar is interesting. Will have to be handled subtly if it is handled at all, but the world is a different place now. You have to adapt, as everything up here always has, or die. I wish you luck, my friends.
Good luck to you.
Wanders back into the tavern.
We'll start the dogs off
Offwards.
towards Targos.
Was it an hour, maybe, max?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Little over an hour, I think.
Yeah. Pulling up to Targos, it's pretty much as you left it. Even at this hour, you hear the odd hammering, sawing activity from within. It's not the level of repair that some of the other towns would need. It's only took sort of superficial damage, but they're hard at work trying to put it right. And even looks like they may even be trying to build some additional residences where there were none before outside the walls to try and make room for additional people. There's a lot of activity. Most of the townsfolk seem to have returned for the ones that were evacuated back from Brinshandan. In fact, on your journey, you pass a few on the sled as they're kind of caravan and snaking their way along the road back to Targos with all their belongings. In Targos. You make your way back to where you left Neven to check on him. He is now sitting upright, still convalescing a little in his bed. There's a sheet up around his shoulders. Keep warm, and he's sipping something warm.
Tok will probably just stand in the door and try and observe him, and just almost a little bit apprehensive, trying to get the measure of him. We'll let the others go by.
Neven will time to look at you. His face is the little muscles on his face starting to shiver as soon as he sees you. And then he slowly looks back at his the hot drink that he's been sipping. Doesn't say anything.
How are you feeling, Neven?
I don't know. How are you? How is everyone else?
They're okay, I suppose.
I'm really sorry. You look back at them. I know the others don't. They never knew who I was, and they probably don't want to know me now. But to the two of you, I am sorry. I will, once I'm feeling better, I'm gonna set off, set off back in Waterdeep, and it'll probably be the best if I stayed away from you, I think.
And I roll insight on whether he's sorry.
Sure.
I'm not going to bother, I'll fail.
Wow. Nick, I don't know if you need to make a roll or not. I don't know, because I don't know if you're genuine or not. That's your call.
He's being genuine, yes.
Okay.
As he says that, Cass is going to go from looking very wary to just giving him a huge hug and not letting go.
Okay. Careful, there's might be tentacles.
No, there aren't. There aren't anymore.
No, I still have tentacles. I've checked.
What?
Yeah.
And she'll back away.
I can still do all the tentacle stuff.
You're actually quite tender, and even around your ribs, and it's you felt similar when you've shape changed before. It's not where it's unpleasant or particularly painful, but the sensation is similar now, but more painful after a shape change.
Okay.
And you're sure it will go, but just the initial contact kind of takes you by surprise how sensitive your body is right now.
Okay.
Does this mean you're going to stop being a dick?
Mitch.
Well, I've always been a dick. I've just not been as much of a intrusive dick. He just kind of looks up, thinking about the number of innuendos he could have said, but it's still too sad.
Just to remind everybody what you all know, you took a watch together. Neven took his watch, went to sleep, and didn't wake up, and that's as much as you know
Didn't
right
wake
now.
up. Yeah. I mean, do you?
Snitch knows that
I always
he got up and wandered off, and then was just in
didn't
his
come
bed
back.
later.
Yeah, he didn't come back, but he was in his bed. I mean, do you know what happened, Neven? You went to bed, and when we got up, you were just, we couldn't wake you for anything. I always thought that stone did something to you.
No, the stone didn't do anything. The stone just, we broke it, and then whatever was in the stone, it came with an offer. It was a debate. It felt like it lasted for hours, but it was only a few seconds in real time. But in your mind, things can last for hours. And I don't know. When I was in Waterdeep, when I was with you, I've been traveling on my own for a while. I've gone through a series of identities, and I've acquired this Neven persona, the one some of you, the only one you've all met. As a traveling musician, thinking maybe now I can just have some fun finally. I don't have to get involved in any crime. And then what happened with us, and I felt like I had a family, but I didn't really know what to do with it. I haven't had one since I was a child. And the thing said it would give me purpose, and it would just make me feel complete, and it gave me this ridiculous amount of power. And I just thought, well, maybe I don't have to just get by in tricks anymore, just turning into different people and hiding away. Maybe I can just have an actual impact in the world and within the group. So it said we'd be working together, and we'll rid of the where we find evil, where we find deities that have gone wrong, that we take them down together. And I thought maybe that can be my purpose. Maybe.
It's not a bad purpose.
Just after what we did in Waterdeep, I just thought, oh, I'm more of a good people now, so maybe I can do more than that. And it got in my head a bit, and then the thing was literally in my head a lot, and then I got in your heads a bit. It all got very confusing.
It was
But
confusing for us.
I felt less and less like me as time went by. I just felt less. I could understand you all more mentally, but I could understand you less and less emotionally.
It was like watching you fade away. It was. I know you say that when you change, everything changes with it, but I always felt deep down. I mean, you told me your name was Locke. I always felt that there was a you in there. You just didn't let that show. You showed these personas, but I saw Locke in there. You were my brother, and that thing just made you fade away. And you just became more and more detached from us, from the world.
It wasn't that, the picture wasn't. I just don't want to excuse me. It was still me. All of that was me. It was my personality. It was just more of me, or me without any reservations. This is why I feel
like me after 12 pints.
Yeah, I just feel like I shouldn't I'm just scared about being here, being with anyone, because everything it made me do, I was capable of doing it. It did not have complete control of me. Just had a bit of control, and that's what it did with it.
We're all capable of horrible things. And being capable and not doing horrible things, that's real power.
Yeah, but I did them.
Well, here's the question. Do you still want to become a god?
No, it sounds like too much responsibility.
I'm with you on that.
But then it'll have to be an entire religion built around me.
What would it even be about? What would your religion be?
Trickery?
I could be a god.
Oh no.
No, you start, Snitch.
I haven't got any ability worth shit. Like I don't know magic. It's a bit beyond me.
I don't either, to be honest. This is just coming to me naturally. I don't really know what I'm doing.
All right, can wind it in, magic boy.
He's just naturally like that. So this voice, even, is it still there?
I can't hear it. If it is, I can't hear it.
What's changed?
Oh,
And
well,
you're free of it, or it's in someone else's head?
It's. Well, I wasn't gonna see that. I wasn't gonna go to Waterdeep. I was gonna try to chase it down. It kind of left my body, but it looks like this. I think it left looking like me, like Neven.
So there's another you out there. Okay.
Yeah.
How do we know that you're the real Neven? And that the other Neven hasn't gone to Waterdeep?
Because the other Neven wants to be a god, and this one said it would be too much responsibility.
In full honesty, the other me knows everything I know, so I truly have no way of proving that I am me. That's what I know they would know, except for whatever I find out now. But now you don't know if I'm me or the other me. So.
Did cast some kind of spell.
Protection from good and evil? Detect good and evil?
Something like that. Which would have an effect on aberrations, and you didn't kind of pick up on it. So
I also did that. Is it just me, or does it not sound like you should stay with us if you are still not feeling 100% and a bit unsure of what exactly it is you want?
I want to take that thing down. That's what I want to do.
On your own?
I don't know if I can do it on my own, but I don't want to drag anyone into it. My problem I brought onto you.
Have you got any idea where it might go?
No, I mean, I know what it wants.
What does it want?
It wants to kill the Oriole goddess, so that's where it's gonna go.
Well, could we, a crazy idea, but could we let it do that and then deal with it? Do you think it can kill Oriole?
I don't know. Well, if it can, then Well, if it can't, then Oriole will kill it, and then we're back where we started. If it can, then it means it's more powerful than Oriole. But there's a scenario where it just enters Oriel's mind and then does what it did to me, and then Oriel has the power she has so far, and then its power.
That sounds pretty bad. It's just a suggestion. You're all the ones that can do the critical thinking and all of that. Where's Threadreader when you need him? He'd probably have something clever to say right now. You don't need to do this on your own, even. I know some stuff has happened, but we are still your family, as far as I'm concerned. We could have given up on you a long time ago, but we didn't. And we won't. Or I won't. The goblins are going to take some convincing, but... hey.
But they're now our family too. So we're all going to have to learn how to get along.
God, I'm so cold with you. I didn't even. Shit. This is going to be a tricky one for me. I'll do whatever I can to help to make sure you can trust me. I don't know what you need me to do. This was a lot. I've never. It's quite common amongst my people to lose themselves a little bit when you're taking a different part, different phase. But this was a lot. I guess if I am to be with you, then I should be with you as myself. And he Niven will turn into his actual form, which is almost pure white, a bit grey. His eyes are pure white as well, and he's got some grey long hair. I think he looks a little bit older than actually looking at Niven form. So that's me. This is Locke. I think we should keep it locked from now on, just to avoid any further confusion.
It's good to finally meet you, Locke.
I hope that I'll be able to meet you all as me on this occasion.
We wouldn't have won all the victories we had without you. We're stronger together. So I'm glad you want to stay with us. We can rebuild this, whatever this thing is. And I'm sure we'll achieve many more great things together.
Yeah, I think it's best if I don't make any decisions for the future. I'll just leave that stuff to you, planning and all.
Oh, please don't leave planning to me. Anyone else, but not me. If it's about travelling and which path to take, yeah, okay. But that's where I draw the line. And being someone with the wet end of their own legs, yeah, you can count on me for that as well. But
I can do the planning.
No.
I've got this.
Never utter those words.
with Snitch, it'll be like some kind of trebuchet launching him.
Not always.
It'll be a very quick end to your career.
No.
Or
I
he's
forget.
got 5 backups.
Not in this one. Oh, no, yeah, in this one I do too. Never mind. I forget what the thing is they say. The ones who burn bright, burn fastest. I don't know. In this case, it's going to be the one who soars furthest, glance fastest.
I don't know how long goblins live. Maybe it's not very long because you like to burn bright, but hey, that's your call.
Oh, well, I'm too old.
I'm not scraping you up off the ground, though, just to be clear.
Rude.
Well, Neven, I don't know if you're up to it, but Locke, sorry, Locke. It's going to take me a while. You know,
With that,
things
Eris is
take a long time.
Eris is going to kind of lean over to Snitch and be like, now we've got a lock and a talk. They're not very imaginative, are they?
Maybe Cass is secretly... No, I'm not going to say that. That's too mean.
I could see where that was going.
Locke will
I
just look a
believe
bit
Locke was here before talk.
He was. And I didn't know he was called Locke, so it's just a magical coincidence.
Well, hit the brakes on that statement.
Like I think we're gonna go and overthrow a goblin tyrant and free a tribe of goblins. If you're not busy, we might stop off at Yarlmoot on the way. I actually can't remember why, but I'm sure someone said there was a good reason to go there. I just remember that it's closer. I'm not selling it. Someone else talk, please.
Didn't Threadreader want to go to Yarlmoot? Sorry, my tongue's getting frostbitten.
And Velin, because we are still indebted to her. We can't forget that.
She wants this codicil thing, which I think Yarlmoot might have had some sort of lead or directions, or I sometimes wish I could write more quickly because I could take notes then, but by the time I've written the first sentence, you're on like the 10th one. Anyway, I don't care where we go. Just be aware if we head straight to the goblins, it's probably going to be 2 days travel.
I think 2 days is all right.
You're looking at 11 hours by dog sled. It's too much for the dogs.
How long will we have to spend in Yarmouth?
Threadreader's expressing a lot of interest in going to Yarmouth. He would probably stay there for a couple of days if you let him. But
I can do. Wait. If we can go to Yarmouth, I would be very grateful. No?
Yes.
Like he's in the room.
There would be some very interesting avenues for my studies there. We're going to win the games.
It's like listening to a recording of himself. Yeah.
Just put it in the chat. I'll say it, Tom.
Tom, I think what we're getting at is, should we go to the other place first so that you can actually be here for Yarlmoot? Well, you just pick one. If we go to Yarb Knob, whatever his name is, it's going to be 2 days travel. Lock, Tock, and 2 smoking barrels. That does sound like a good movie to me. We did get the black powder in Waterdeep. That could have been how that ended.
Yeah.
The dark powder.
I'm more than happy to go to Karkolohk first. I mean,
Yeah.
Yavnok's a bastard. I don't really want to think about people being stuck with him longer than necessary.
If it would mean... Wait. No. If it would mean we could stay longer at Yarmouth, I'd be interested in saving it for after.
Okay, Threadreader, that sounds fair.
A+ performance.
I really hope I'm not offending you, Tom.
Oh, hello all. Guten Abend. I see the skinny one is awake. It's good to see you all. Come back.
Fucking hell, it's her again.
You're about to set out.
We were.
I hear
we
you
were.
talking a little. If you have any last questions to ask about anything, then of course you can. I was very interested to hear you talk about my colleague and your little jaunt into the broken up spire, I think you said. So if you go and you're joined, I will like to go back there and see if there's anything you missed. No offense, but I have a little bit more of an idea of what I'm looking for. And you said it is clear now, right?
Well, there's a shambling dead guy loitering.
Oh, Grintas. I have no fear of this thing.
He did seem pretty rubbish, to be fair.
Yeah, he just kind of shambled.
And
He
everything
had the
else is.
same answer for everything, which was.
Yes. I mean, I have an affinity with these sorts of creatures, but the conversation is limited, I admit. She hits 2 kobolds on the head.
Well, we need to go and deal with this trade disruption with these goblins. They're preventing food and supplies getting through to 10 towns. I'm sure you appreciate that's urgent.
But on the way,
But-
we can go to Yarlmoot, which is what you wanted. Or on the way back,
Yes.
maybe is better, because then we can spend as much time there as you like.
As you wish.
So could you remind us about Yarlmoot, because I've checked my notes and it just says Yarlmoot.
Yeah, of course.
And I don't think I've spelt it right either.
No, that's not even in common. Oh,
No, is it?
Two O's talk.
I've
No, it's in
spoken with
Draconic.
some of
It might be
the,
Dwarven.
listen, please.
Sorry.
I'm trying to tell you. This is why your notes are shit. So,
Don't mind Doc, he's easily distracted.
I'm just a slow writer. It's not. My notes are very good. If you
would you like me to
talk
write it down
really
for you?
slowly, yes.
Okay.
I'll hand over a piece of parchment.
This pencil is shit. I have to lick it every time. Okay. And she began gribbling as she saw it.
It'll because Tox licked it, it'll probably be frozen. It'll stick.
Oh, shit. To warm it up a little bit between hands. Stuck. She says she's, as part of her investigations, she had spoken to some Goliaths who mentioned that they had seen, noticed that this was a place that frost giants visited from time to time. Not very often. She'd spoken to Yoselm, actually, or heard of Yoselm, who knows where this place is exactly. And she'd heard that the reason that the giants go there from time to time is that they seek knowledge from their ancestors, and they can speak to their ancestors, spirits of ancient frost giants, perhaps, and they can ask questions, and if they prove themselves worthy, they can get the answer to them if the spirits know the answer. She suggested that you might be able to get an answer in a similar way, if the rumours are true.
Because I talked to my ancestors.
I talked to my ancestors.
Oh, well, I don't have magic.
I can talk to them for you.
What would you ask them?
I don't know. It's
People
more
think
about the. It's more about
everybody
the
can
attempt.
talk to their ancestors. Not all of them talk back. That's the difference.
It's just talking to yourself, then.
It depends how strong your faith is.
I don't know what that means.
just lucky that you don't look to speak to your ancestors, but rather somebody else's ancestors.
I don't know what that means.
It's actually something I've learned a lot of, so maybe I'll talk to you later about Torm.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know who that is.
He's a god, and
He's
he
mates with Lathander.
he is, but all gods find different things important, but Torm finds loyalty and friendship and family and honor important, and those things are important to me.
You're all saying words I don't understand. Shall we just go and stab Yarbnock?
Okay. You know the way?
Yeah? Yeah?
Okay, you drive then.
I've just noticed the fucking sneaky line in response to Eris's sneaky, I don't like the weird lady. She's a right Albert's anus. Snitch will be like, yeah, there's definitely something a bit fucky about her.
Where does it say that? Oh,
Foundry.
right, in the chat, in Foundry chat. Okay, I was like, what planet am I not on with you all?
I just looked
Are you-
over to be like, I have to plot a course now, and then went, oh dear.
She's a right Albert's anus. Okay.
You didn't understand that. It was.
I
it was
didn't
a
understand it, no.
Snitch will probably just laugh and go, yeah, bitch.
So, so we're going to. Are we going to the Goblin Fortress
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
first? Okay.
Thread Reader seems a bit tired, and he might not get the most out of Yarlmoot if we go straight away. So we need to deal with this goblin. No offense, but the disruption of the trade routes.
Oh, does Thread Reader need a little nap to become the little bed reader?
If someone could read to me in bed, I would like that.
Feel like
Just
if you were
Just because your screen's black at the moment, that just disembodied voice just came out of nowhere. That was brilliant.
that is not here. It'd be a fucking stone-sized fist coming at Snitch, I think, for making that joke. Otherwise,
We could read him some Goblin bedtime poetry. Fun.
He is coming with you, by the way.
I don't think anyone wants that.
It's just Tom's not here, so he's texting in what he wants to participate in.
Yeah. So I think if
Okay.
I can help Snitch plot a course using the stars or something. I don't know. Between us.
I mean, I can
get the right
navigate if
direction.
you don't really know, but I'll drive if you're worried.
I don't really know how to navigate, but I know where it is.
Well,
You can
navigating
take-
is just getting to where you know where it is. It's like the act of getting there. How would you normally get there?
Walk.
Okay.
Along a river.
Along a river. Which river? Well, you're going to have some goblin name for it, aren't you?
No, I looked on the map. It's called the Red Run in your stupid people language.
Okay, so it's by the Red Run. The Red Run's quite a long river.
There, below that little fork on the left-hand side on the map. I've gone a bit Australian.
Hello, Sham.
By the
I know
other river. It's where two rivers meet. and then down.
I know that place. Okay,
Obviously.
I know that place. Well, if you're ready, we'll set off.
So what route are you taking? Are you following the Shanegarn River, which takes you almost to Yarmouth, and then
I'm just
following
gonna-
it south?
We
I'm
can
just
point
going to
it out
go
as we go by.
cross country. Top would know where it is, so he's just
Okay.
going to go straight across.
And I mean,
The
if you're taking
tundra.
your Selm with you, she might be able to offer some assistance.
Yeah, I do need some assistance because although I know the area and have a perfect memory for geography and all of that good stuff, I do have the wisdom of a potato and the survival of a slightly more advanced potato. So
Turnip.
he's not. No, he's not. He's not in turnip territory. When it comes to survival, he's more of a potato, definitely.
Okay.
I'm
Are you
not-
setting out now?
Yeah.
No, we. Well, should we? What, a
Yeah.
night?
No.
I guess
probably
we haven't pushed the dogs very much, and it is 2 days travel, so we could get a head start. But that means camping in the wild.
We're probably
No,
going
I
to
don't
have to
feel the
camp out
cold, but-
anyway. I might be able to dig a hole.
I'm not planning on anyone dying, but
No, to get us out of the wind.
oh, well, yeah, true. We're going to have to camp one night, so camp it tonight is your suggestion.
Okay.
I could have brought a
Good
tent.
suggestion. We've got a tent. It's fine.
With your Selm assisting,
Thread reader, I didn't quite catch it. You sound.
Make a dome.
Threadreader's participating more than Cass.
He's very vocal tonight. Yes. Can make a little hut. Well, we'll do that then.
So, by the way, I've added resources similar to. Got where they are now, though. Oh yeah, similar to Uta.
Okay, yeah.
Just in case it. So far, you've been relatively close to towns and things, and you've had pretty decent resources. I've not tracked it, but it will come into play if you stray away from towns for too long.
Okay, well, water's not too hard to get hold of because it's snow everywhere, but maybe we should get some more dog rations before we leave. Is it 1 per day per dog, and we've got, 10 dogs?
6 dogs you've got.
6 dogs.
6 dogs for you, yeah.
So we've got enough for a couple of days. Okay, well, we're good. We're good to go then.
So, survival with advantage for you, Tok, please. As you're leading the way with some assistance from the goblins and some assistance from yourself. Okay. Do you travel for, how long do you want to go for? Because you've done a bit of travelling already today. You've been to Dugan's Hole, back up to
I think we would just go as far as we can without exhausting the dogs, so probably no more than 4 hours.
Fair. So 4 hours you can get 12 miles.
And I'll be literally casting water walk as well.
Is it two? Isn't it 8 miles across tundra?
In 4 hours? For dog sleds, no.
I can't find my notes. They're here somewhere.
Tundra's times 3 dog sled.
Okay. Sorry.
Think. So what did we say?
I'll go with what you say. I can't find our travel speeds. There it is.
It's 12.
Dog sled across tundra is 2 miles per hour.
Oh, right, okay. So, 8 then.
3 on road. So 8, yeah.
Anyone looking out for anything, or you just head down going for it?
Snitch will always keep an eye out because I think he's been kind of raised to do that.
Yeah, I won't because I've got the perception of a turnip.
Nice roll. Yeah, it's relatively straightforward. It's not like traveling on roads. There's a lot more twists and turns to avoid the various hillocks and rocky outcroppings, and you snake a little bit, but it's relatively straightforward, especially with Eris spellcasting and Yselm guiding you and the goblins giving you a general heading. You see the dogs breathing start to labour a little bit, steam coming out of their mouths, tongues lolling a little bit, and they're slowing. They're still going, but they're slowing a little. So you decide to stop and rest them, set up camp, I guess, for you guys.
If Fred Reader can do his little hut, then we don't need to pitch the tent. And we can leave quickly tomorrow.
Okay. So Threadreader spends 10 minutes tracing gut. I'll do my little gut, he said. Don't be so hard on yourself, pal. And through the night, with the hut, is nobody taking watches, or are you just going to everyone get their heads down?
Take a watch.
I can barely sleep, so I can do a double.
Okay. Those that are taking watches or first watch, give us a perception, please.
Are you doing the watch with me, Locke?
Yes, and if one of the goblins is taking a watch, I'd like to do one with them.
Might be better if... Yeah, okay. Might be better if I help whoever's doing it. You can... Oh, that's pretty good. You can have advantage if I help you rather than me doing it, because I'm... only got +1.
Okay. Locke, you take first watch. And you're doing it with Tok, did you say? Or...
I'd like to take one watch with the goblin. I can do 2 watches.
Okay, yeah, I'll go second then.
Do any of the goblins volunteer to take a watch with Locke? Okay, Snitch. Okay.
This would take a watch, but would refuse to take a watch with Locke.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh wow. You don't see anything. It's a clear night. The odd scurry of a snow hare bobbing and then stopping, looking, sniffing, bobbing a bit more. It's really, really quiet, very uneventful. Even the wind is, while it's there, it's really, really calm and faint. They're really quite boring. So there's an opportunity to talk if any of you wanted to.
Locke's gonna be awkwardly looking over Snitch and quite often opening his mouth, but not really saying anything.
Snitch isn't really going to focus on having a conversation either. I think he's more going to be like an NPC on alert, where he's just kind of like step, 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 step for like the full 4 hours.
Wait, did you hear something?
Yeah. What was that noise? Step,
Huh?
step. Must have been the wind.
Yeah. Okay. So you kind of take your watch awkwardly, with Locke sort of on the verge of trying to break the ice and make conversation, but not quite
Fuck off.
making it, and and Snitch not opening that door either. So yeah, he kind of awkwardly passes the time for a couple of hours. Who do you wake up?
Yeah, the anyone volunteer to go next?
I'll go next.
Snitch will awkwardly rattle Cass awake. Just like grab her on the shoulder and shake her.
Yeah. Hello.
Don't you normally kick them in the head to wake them up, Snitch?
Well, yeah, but I like Cass.
I thought that was only if they were dead.
Oh,
if
right,
I-
yeah,
if
my
I think
mistake.
they're
That was a
dead.
medicine check, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So, Eris and Cass.
Yeah. Snitch will rattle Cass awake because like, there's monsters outside.
What?
No, there's nothing really. Quiet.
Oh,
You're just going.
Hitch. Please don't.
So, perceptions from you guys, please. One from Eris. Okay. Eris, you spend most of your watch maximizing the clear sky. There's always been a lot of fog, mist, precipitation of some form or other, be it snow, rain, sleet, hail, whatever. The sky always throws in it. The sky's never really visible. Tonight, through the aurora, you can see all the stars really, really clear. And you don't miss a single one of them. And as a result, you spend less time looking at the horizon. You don't see anything. Cass, you a little rattled by Snitch's wake up. Breathing a little bit heavy initially, you kind of settle into your watch. And you hear in the distance, nothing visible, but kind of a rhythmic thumping.
Does it get closer over time, or does it seem the same volume for a
It
while?
seems to persist for quite some time, probably 15 to 20 minutes, and it does get quieter the longer you leave it.
Then I will do nothing.
Okay.
Except say, Eris.
Eris who's just like meditating, staring at the stars, like various points on her body just slightly glowing. What?
Can you hear that? Do you know what that is?
Can I hear it?
With Cass pointing it out, yeah.
Okay. Do I know what it is?
You can make a nature check, please.
11.
Okay. You suspect, though you're not 100% sure, that it might be a mammoth or something similar.
Okay. Just a mammoth plodding along.
Mm-hmm.
Something big. Something really big. Like bigger than Talk. Bigger than Fred Reader.
Dangerous? Should we wake everyone?
I think anything big is dangerous.
Okay. This is okay, because it doesn't sound like it's getting closer. We'll just keep listening.
It'll be big enough to see if it gets close. Got clear skies and starlight, so it's a good omen.
Okay. The rest of your watch passes uninterrupted. Who do you wake up?
I think there's only Fred Reader left, isn't there? Oh, well, Fred Reader and Velen.
Oh, Velen's not with you. She's gone to the spire.
Who was the other
Yourself.
person?
I can
So-
take another
So-
watch because I just trance.
I think Locke said he could take another watch as well. So whoever wants to. Locke and Cass, then maybe.
I was going to wake up Tok in case he knew anything
Oh,
about
Tok.
Mammoth.
Right, okay. You're on mute, pal. I think.
What,
Sorry.
is it my? Oh, you've
Uh,
let me sleep a long time.
I took two. I took 2 watches, so she can take another one.
Okay.
So Locke and Tok, is it?
Lock and talk.
And 2 smoking barrels.
And 2
Okay.
smoking barrels.
Yeah, before I go, then I'll say there were mammoths, I think.
Sorry, mammoths.
No, I need to sleep. What? I can't take another watch. I need to sleep.
You go sleep.
Sorry.
You go sleep. It's
Mm.
fine. I got this one. What was that about mammoths?
Eris says.
About what?
Shh.
No,
About what?
mammoths.
What's
It'd
a
be
mammoth?
stupid having a Tok and a Lock.
Do you know that as long as you stay out their way, they're fine. They're quite clever, really. Did you see one?
No, I could hear it, and Eris said it was probably that. She said they were really big.
Could be a giant.
Could be a giant. Could be a mammoth. Well, it's okay.
Or an ogre. Or a ginormous owlbear. Or the biggest owlbear you ever did see.
It's fine. I'm sure it's fine. I can't hear anything.
I've heard about
If-
penguins. I imagine they're massive.
What-
Not
what's a
really.
penguin?
Size by a penguin.
I mean,
And
compared
it's
to
a
you, they're
massive
quite big.
bird. You've seen
It's-
them.
Like a dragon.
Do they have sharp, pointy teeth? And big
No,
wings?
not really.
Oh. What do they have?
No teeth. Quite little wings. They kind of walk like that, which probably reminds you of someone.
Every campaign needs one.
Can we please get a pet penguin?
At this point, with
Maybe.
almost the entire party awake and having a conversation, you'll probably just see Snitch like shuffling in the bed, going, I'm fucking, and then he'll roll over, like half disgruntled that he can hear people.
I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna go outside. If a mammoth attacks, I'll wake you up. But I'm sure it's fine.
Eris is going to
tuck
fall asleep
Snitch back
and
in.
dream of penguins.
Castle go to sleep, kind of vaguely dreaming of all these crazy creatures that Eris kind of suggested that the noise could have been.
Every now and
15,
again, you're.
okay. Oh, there's Anus. Oh,
Monsters outside. Snitch, you bastard.
and who else? Tok, and or was it just Tok alone?
I think it's just me. Yeah.
Oh no, I can stay up. I can trance.
Okay,
So I'll do. I'll just
and one
stay
for you as well, Cass.
up.
So you just stepping out the bubble, or are you going for a walk, or?
I'm just gonna step outside the bubble and circle it, or the hut, or whatever it is.
Yeah, you don't hear. Well, neither of you hear any more of this like thudding, this creature noise, this large creature noise that you suspect could be anything based on Eris's information. Yeah, nothing further, and you begin to see the aurora fade as the natural daylight, what there is of it, begins to brighten. Cass would probably say a little prayer internally. Dawn approaches. And the evening and the night comes to an end. So everybody benefits from the long rest, those that need it.
I can't stop thinking about what Locke said about
Which
that
bit?
thing. Well, that thing's out there somewhere, and it looks like him.
Here's a question for Nick. Have you just stayed in your grey shape changer form now?
Yes, I'm permanently in that.
Well, it looks like Neven, not like Locke.
You are clever. Yeah, I suppose it does.
It is difficult to get used to.
Apologies for confusion. I hope it will get easy.
You be whoever you need to be. If this is what you look like, then it's good. It's just I've never really seen you like this, so it's just new. It's just new. I don't like the thought of that thing being out there doing things in your name, but I guess Neven was just a mask that you wore for a while. Is that kind of how it is? I mean, I used to be a human, so I kind of know what it's like to be one thing and then be another, and I can't say it didn't change me because it did, but I don't think I really can understand. Does it matter that that thing might do things with your face?
We operate on a policy of not taking. It's important to stay accountable when you change forms that often. It's important that most people try to stay accountable for what you've done and not disassociate each identity with your actions. So I suppose those actions are associated with the new identity for me, which is why I needed to shake it off. And now they are Neven. In a sense, Neven is it was me, but it wasn't really me.
They've stolen that from you. The identity.
Well, I sold it is more accurate. I did agree to that thing being inside me. I did agree to that thing I wanted to do. It never controlled me. So, as I said, I need to be held accountable for what I've done. You can't just excuse me because I think that's not how it's supposed to work. In fact, this is going against my character. So don't push it. Look, I'm trying very hard not to be a dick.
I don't know how to ask this in a sensitive way, but can you still defend yourself?
Oh, I am insanely powerful, obnoxiously so.
Fine then.
You've no idea. I can fly now.
Okay, I look forward to seeing that.
I can make you fly.
I'd rather not. Okay. I'm not a fan of heights.
Can summon slimy things.
I can fly.
Well, I've seen you do that.
I can control others' mind. What? I'll try not to do that.
Well, not on us, but I'm sure it'll come in useful against this goblin chieftain.
I hope so.
Well, shall we eat and move on? I'll get some water boiled. We'll have a hot drink and some food, and then we can go. probably cover another 15, 16 miles today. Will still leave us with a bit more to travel.
Hot
Yeah.
chocolate powder a thing in Icewind Dale?
Sure.
Then Cass will have that every fucking morning.
I like the idea that it's just the powder, not a drink.
So I haven't removed any water from your rations because it's readily available. And if you make a fire, then
Yeah.
just create water freely.
We'll just melt snow and ice, yeah. But not the yellow snow. Never the yellow snow.
So you pack up, continue off in much the same direction. As you crest a couple of the first hills, you notice some tracks that have filled in a little bit with some of the flurries of snow that have occurred in the early hours. But they're deep tracks, so they take some filling. And you can make another nature check now. Well, anybody who wants to. Eris can with advantage. Somebody used TBC.
No fucking clue.
Oh, that was me. Sorry, it's because I'm on the map. It's
Yeah, no worries. Snitch hasn't got a clue. 19, not bad.
that's exceptional for someone with -2 to their intelligence.
What was that? Oh, 21. Wow. Well, yeah, Tok and Eris, you both recognise these tracks. They do seem to be that of a mammoth. Eris, you think they are deeper than they should be for a mammoth, which would suggest it's laden with something.
Yes, it was definitely a mammoth, but it was a fat one.
How can you tell?
It's a lot deeper than it should be. I can stand in that and it'll come right up to my eyeballs.
Okay.
Normally, it's just up to my elbows.
Never thought to measure the depth of or the weight of mammoths with goblins in footprints. That's ingenious.
Should we
That's
be
why I'm the
worried?
smart one. Probably. Or not.
Are the tracks going the same way we are?
Kinda. They're heading west. More due west. You're heading more southwest.
I mean, I wonder if Yardnock's got smart enough to start using mammoths to carry stuff.
That twat couldn't wrangle a mammoth.
No, but maybe some of the others could. I
Should
could do.
we investigate this? Could it be? I mean, you need to tell us more about Yarbnock before we get there, if you can. You know, what can he do? What's he like? What's his weaknesses? Should we check out this mammoth? Could it be one of his?
He ain't got no fucking mammoth.
He might have a mammoth. Always trying new stuff. It's all stupid, but he's trying it. Might
He's
get
got-
lucky one day.
He's got a broken tin man.
Yeah, lots of Vince metal.
Oh, there's a point. Has it? Can I word at all? Does it
Can you
feel
do a
closer?
word?
2 words.
What was the question? Sorry.
Does it feel closer? Because I'm still attuned to it for no goddamn reason.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, it does. Coming from. I showed this to Matt before, but if you click on what was the button that you click on? Should
It
bring
looks
up all
like
those,
a ribbon. It's like a ribbon with a
and the
cut out
buttons
the
on the
bottom.
top left of your screen that run down the side. I think it says journal notes, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Oh,
So there's loads of POI, points of interest, all over the map that you're aware of. I've put on there, and you should be able to edit those notes as well if you find out anything new or want to remind yourself of anything of wherever you visited.
Okay,
Where-
now Snitch
where was
far
it?
from him. Karkolohk.
oh, it's in Karkolohk. Okay.
Yeah,
I think-
it's pinging from down there. Yeah.
Was it working, Snitch?
No. No, we couldn't figure out how to get it on. We just found it in the snow and dragged it back.
Was it in good condition?
I don't remember. It was a while ago.
You've both seen it, in fact, and it's quite difficult to reference whether it's in good condition or not because you've never seen anything like it before. You don't know what one should look like. Difficult to tell.
Okay, well, just point it out when we get there.
It was all in one piece when I found it, at least.
Yeah, that's something. Maybe we should just keep our eyes peeled for the mammoths rather than
follow the
actively-
tracks.
Yeah.
So how far can you travel in a day?
2 miles per hour. So
I sworn it was more than that. If it's 2 miles an hour, it's 24 miles. Is that right?
well,
Is that
it's 8 hours. You can only travel for 8 hours, otherwise the dogs will get exhaustion. I
No, I
remember.
upped them to 12. Dogs can travel for 12, but they must rest for 12.
Oh, distance per day, 24 miles across snow in a dog sled. So we could, in theory, do the rest of it then, with
Yeah.
a few breaks. Sorry, yeah, I was looking at the wrong table.
So provided you don't hit anything untoward, like unusual, and you pretty much travel as the crow flies, you will just about make it.
Snitch Eris, you need to tell us about the defences, what we're going to face. I mean, how are we approaching this? Do we really want to parley with this person?
Say parlay, but we can definitely knock and see if they'll let us in.
I mean, if I challenged him to a fight, do you think he would?
And
Yeah?
Maybe, yeah.
not that I don't think you would, but just because we don't know anything about him, do you think Tok would win?
No. But only because Yavnark wouldn't fight him by himself, I think.
Yeah, he's not a fair fighter.
Okay, so
He's
maybe
a
that's
liar and a
not-
cheat.
Maybe we don't do that then. Is there
It'd
any
be
way?
easier if Tok didn't want a fair fight. You wouldn't have to fight fair, you know.
I mean,
You
there's
know-
there's a part of my mind that's the part that takes over in the battles, that doesn't care about fair. But right now, when I'm all here, I care. Even if it's a goblin. Didn't you teach me that goblins are people too?
Yeah,
And I should
Yavnark's
give them a
barely
chance?
a goblin, and he doesn't deserve a chance. He is a horrible, horrible person.
Yarblock's not people.
I'm supposed to decide if I've not met them.
And
You're
sometimes
asking me
you
to
trust
just...
us. To
I
trust
do
us.
trust you. It just feels dishonest.
Why? What's the dishonesty in it? Telling you the truth. That's the truth, and that is honesty.
We're here to parley. And you
No,
want
we're
us to
not.
assassinate him.
We've had to
Not
trust
gonna
you
assassinate.
ferrying us around all the towns for ages.
We fought a
After-
dragon. We laid siege to a fortress. And we stopped you from killing everyone. We're not going to let you kill innocents here. Karkolohk's just not an innocent. He's a very bad man.
Well, here's the problem, I suppose. If we just knock on the door and say we'd like to kill Yarbanock, but just Yarbanock, he might
I
still
can go
order
ask.
everyone. Yeah, maybe this is the way to do it. If you could get in quietly, because I know you can become creatures and things, and let the good goblins know that we're coming, then maybe we can stage some sort of coup.
It's a coup.
Like you know what I've been planning.
The kind of
Placing
pigeons coup.
you. Yes, it was a bad choice of words. It means to instate a new leadership from within.
To overthrow.
Yes.
Yeah, I know what it meant. I said it's like you knew what I was planning.
No, but Eris,
Yeah, but I didn't.
Oh, sorry, I misheard that.
Coup
Sorry,
d'etat.
And then I didn't remember what it meant.
Well, we could probably go in and we can, if we're really careful and really sneaky, then we could ask about and see what's going on. Because maybe he's changed. I doubt it.
He hasn't
But
changed.
then, no. But at least we can ask. And then if we find out that he's done horrible things since we've been gone, Tok, do you think you'd be more likely to throw him off a cliff?
Yeah. Yeah, if
Or
he's...
I could make me really, really big and I could throw him off a cliff.
Whatever makes you happy. As long as he goes off the cliff, then it's all good.
I only
think
got
he might
string
survive.
beans for arms, but
Can I interject?
No.
Are you
Yes,
just
please.
maybe if we set up a code word and then I promise not to kill any goblins, and then if either Ares or Snitch say the code word, then I can start killing goblins, except for the two of them. And whoever you point out as someone that shouldn't be. How does that sound?
I think it's probably safe if you just don't kill any goblins. Like, if they attack, you can hurt them, but maybe don't kill them.
I like that
Oh.
plan too.
So, some of the stuff I use is not as accurate as, like, when you hit it with a sword and you can climb at them for the head.
I'll be honest, Eris, from my experience, I don't think I could hit a goblin without killing it.
Well, that
Maybe a
doesn't
big
show
one.
self-restraint.
You do know me, right? This halberd is not a weapon of finesse.
And I'm more of the open a portal to another dimension and summon creatures that can give you kind of.
Well, that's how you got into this mess. So maybe you shouldn't be doing that so much.
It's very useful if someone's trying to kill you.
It is
Yeah,
really
it's also very
effective.
useful for ending up being a squid man.
She's out of line, but she's got a point.
That was a. It was a minor side effect that it seems to have been resolved with a minor side effect of having someone that looks like me walking around, possibly trying to overthrow a god and take their place. But the tentacle stuff is still, I'd still argue, looks pretty cool, and then it can be very useful.
I hope you can hear yourself saying that you think a minor side effect means that you've killed members of my family, and then when we went into a fortress where we agreed not to hurt people, you went and started a massacre. That is not minor. Take
Well,
some responsibility.
From the perspective of how my life has been, yeah, guess what?
And there's his like crossed arms and furrowed brow and pouty.
Tiny and furious.
Yeah.
Foot stompy.
She's nearly wagging a finger at him.
The footprints are normally this deep, but now they're this deep.
If we, I understand that you can't always help yourself. I would like it if you would try not to kill people, but if you have to kill people, we'll let you know which ones.
Well, I can help my. It's I'm not. I have control now. I'm just saying that the things that I do are quite. They're not as easy to do them in a non-lethal fashion. So if you just point when so as me to kill it, I'll kill them.
Yeah,
I'll make it work.
If you can get word out so that, let's face it, all species in this world have bad sorts. I'm sure there are goblins that would just happily take Yarbnock's place and do just as many bad things, if not more. We can help the ones that get hurt, but when it all kicks off, you can't always choose the nature of battle, I'm afraid. We can try our best. Yeah, I'm just saying that some goblins are going to die.
I think what they're saying ultimately is that they are going to need to take your lead on this. So you tell us what you feel needs to be done, and we will execute that. Not execute, well, unless that's what you ask for, but we'll come to it.
I can be in your mind. With your permission, I can let you speak to me in my mind.
No.
Oh no, but that's good, because if you go in there and we don't know if you've been captured, we need to know. We need to know whether we need to come in and rescue you. Do you have any way of communicating with us out here?
I mean, you could be in as a prisoner, and then you've just got to throw me a weapon at the right point, right?
I can turn into a goblin.
There you go.
That just feels very strange.
I mean, you have all been invited by the leader, so just reminding you.
I mean, we could just walk in, but
We went in as emissaries. Would you be able to get away from us and get word round?
Maybe.
Then maybe that's the safer option for us to actually be in there.
I mean, I'm not going to strike the first blow. I want to be clear there.
Message received loud and clear.
I couldn't quite hear that, sorry, Nick.
Oh, message received loud and clear on my end.
It obviously wasn't on mine. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, as you're having this conversation, you are making your way up the mountains, gaining altitude. It's a relatively established, you could call it a road of sorts, track. It's a clear path that winds up at a steady angle, so it's not too arduous a journey, but it does take you longer and it winds around, zigzagging. You start to see the beginnings of construction, sharpened spikes, the pieces of timber, the assembled rocks. It becomes more frequent further up the path you go, and as you get almost, I wouldn't say near the summit of the mountain itself, but at a kind of a good height, it's almost like a semi-plateau on the mountain. You see, yeah, it's clear that this would be the fortress that your two goblin companions refer to, and they would confirm that for you. This is the fortress proper. But at the moment, you're some distance away, so if you wanted to do something other than just walk in or walk straight up to the front doors, you have time to formulate that.
Snitch is walking right up.
Oh,
What do you want us to do?
okay.
If we stay out here, chances are we're not going to get in. If they lock it down. I mean, look at this. I mean, it's crude, but it will be effective.
Sure,
I mean, neither can make us fly now, so maybe it'd be easier to get in than. But I'd rather stay on the ground, please.
Yeah, it'll be fun. We'll figure it out.
What does that mean?
We'll figure it out.
Oh,
are we all going in? Are we?
emissaries?
These are your people. You haven't a clue, really, have you, what we're doing? You're just going to make it up as you go along.
Do you want to stay out here and we'll get a signal to you, or do you want to come in?
Well, this is the point. Look, quite well defended.
Do you want to be an emissary?
Yes, but I'm not striking the first blow if I go in.
I would like to
as
be
an
nearby
emissary.
you. Yes, I think it would buy us time for you to talk to everyone.
Okay.
Unless you think something else.
You trying to be stealthy at all, Jim? Snitch?
I'm going to once we've tried.
You hear a horn blasting to the cold
I will
frigid
shape
air.
into a spider.
Okay. Another one goes in the distance.
Snitch was just going to shout back in Goblin, "Shut the fuck up!" And then carry on walking.
Cass will look like, come in peace.
Is that you, Snitch?
Yeah.
Told you he wasn't dead. Pay up. Shut up. Come on then. Who's that you with? Who's behind you?
Some people from the towns. They're here to talk about deals or something. They got a letter.
Deals? Right.
Well,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, you know where you're going?
Yeah. And Snitch will just kind of like wave everyone to keep coming.
Okay.
Eris will have set herself up on Fred Reader's shoulder, hiding in like the collar or the hood or something.
You make your way along this kind of plateau There's like a sheer drop on one side of the edge, but you go past these kind of rickety wooden timber like platforms, like watchtowers. And now that you look up, you see a bit of a glow from the top. Presume there's some kind of fire or brazier at the top. And you've heard the voices shouting down to Snitch, so you assume that there's some goblins on top, perhaps keeping watch or they're on sentry duty or whatever. And you continue to walk around. And as you continue, you come up to some big, large gates, fiery braziers casting its flickering lights, 30 foot high, spiked ramparts that frame this huge timber gate. 4 goblins peer down from these ramparts to either side. It's 20 foot high. It's all. It's fashioned out of like cross-hatched pieces of wood, latched together. It's heavy, and there's a heavy chain and padlock seals the gate.
Is anyone going to open the fucking door?
He's from Ten Towns, are they?
Yeah.
Right. Well, yeah. And, he had a bit.
You heard a bit of shouting down below. The chain's rattling. Chain goes slack. The lock falls to the floor. You hear like a bar being lifted from inside wooden slat. It's pushed open a crack. And probably a crack in this gate is easy enough for you all to walk through, I would say. So as you walk in, Snitch, you see a goblin riding on top of a warg. You recognise the goblin. That is Snubsuck. For those others that are following that haven't been here before, you see 2 rickety wooden bridges looming over the area, a height of about 30 feet or whatever, something like that. One is higher than the other. The higher bridge is missing a large section of its middle. It doesn't look safe at all. It's really rickety. Much of the architecture is similar. There's 2 iron cages hanging from beams that extend off the southeast of one of the lower bridges. One of the cages twirls on its heavy iron chain as a flurry of black feathered ravens tear into the flesh of the desolate creature caged within. Underneath the bridge is a warg that you've seen, that Snitch has seen, with a rider on its back. Rider's swathed in cold weather clothing. Appears to be a rather fat goblin, as you know all too well, Snitch. North and west of the higher bridge, resting in the snow, are 3 large wooden cages, which are currently empty.
The thing in the cage being attacked by the ravens, is it alive or dead?
Dead now.
Never thought to see you come back.
Yeah.
Sensible enough not to come back empty-handed, at least.
Oh, we'll see. Anyway, they're coming from 10 Towns to talk to Yavnok.
Right. Well, you know the way, right?
Yeah.
Back on.
Bye, Snubbles.
Kind of paces. Warg snorts steam into the air as you continue.
Oh, look.
As you
thank
do continue, you see suspended underneath this platform there is like 30-foot tall watchtower, you presume. Well, you know it is, Snitch. It's connected to the snowy ridges either side by further wooden bridges. Hanging off it appears to be more empty cages. Hanging underneath the tower's raised platform is a 9-foot tall golem-like construct with a helm-shaped head. This humanoid contraption is attached to an arrangement of ropes and pulleys that make it look like a giant marionette. The signal from your amulet, Cass, is particularly strong.
Is that your thing?
My Tin Man.
Cass won't look, but she'll have a big smile on her face as she nods.
No, Snitch might know the way, but Jim doesn't.
Yeah, and I don't either. So,
I would also like to know if there were people that I thought could be swayed against Yardnark, where would they be and how do I get there?
right. So there is a civilian sort of family area, which is over to the west on this high pinnacle around here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the sort of healer huts are more arcane, are afforded a special station, and they're up more towards this direction, up towards the northwest, underneath the platform.
Are there going to be more people in the general area?
Yeah.
Okay, as Fredrita kind of passes, any kind of slant that will lead up there, I'll, little spider form, I'll hop off and I'll start walking up by myself.
As
Okay.
as Snitch, as Eris starts popping off, Snitch might notice and just kind of like whisper after going and ask after someone called Marathi.
Oh,
Okay. Little spider wave continues off.
where's Eris gone?
Has that?
Oh,
Oh,
No, I've
Eris is
lost
by the
Eris's
bridge.
token.
I just got moved.
Yeah, I was putting
Yeah.
you up on the top so you can head towards.
Oh.
If you head north on that path, so you're up a level now. Say there would have been a ladder drop down for you. Oh, there's Eris. Okay. So if
Sorry,
you head.
thank you.
Okay, go on.
can I? Is the construct secured in any way, or is it just hanging?
It's hanging. Make a perception check, please. Yeah, it's suspended from underneath this platform by ropes and pulleys. And that's all you can see is ropes, not in a way as to kind of like restrain it or lock it in place. It's just to sort of hold it up and animate it and keep it in a humanoid form rather than flat on its face on the floor.
How high above the ground is it? Like, if I cut the ropes at some point, how far would it drop?
There's enough space underneath its feet for the tallest goblin riding a walk to clear under, so it's probably only 6 foot maximum.
Thank you.
Snitch, these would be the front doors into Yarbnock's abode or territory. But some of the other goblins escort you round, actually, this way, and invite you in.
Because Snitch is stepping in, he's going to be like, I didn't really think this plan through very well. I had a plan.
You didn't have a plan. There was no plan from the start.
I had
Don't
a
pretend.
plan.
Well, why didn't you share it with us?
Because why would I? It's goblin things.
Because you want our help with it.
Having this conversation out in the open.
Well, it'd be hushed, but yeah, I guess so.
You've never been in here before, Snitch. You've only ever really stood outside as Yarbnock's given you instruction, or if he's spoken to you personally at all, few and far between. As you look through the door there into the building, there's a low banquet table dominating that room there. There's no chairs. As you would know, goblins are to generally sit on the floor to eat. Now, the table and the floor all around it are just strewn with fish bones and bits of rotting meat and the refuse left over from previous meals. This area doesn't get cleaned.
I forgot how horrifically charming, I suppose, this place was.
Goblin life.
Snitch, how do we address Yarbnock?
I've always just called him Yarbnock. Sometimes he gets angry if you don't call him Chief or something, but I don't think that really applies to non-goblins.
Still good to know.
You know, I'll let you do the talking. I saw the scars on Eris. I'm not being polite to this.
I've never been particularly polite to him either.
Look, we need to buy Eris time.
I think Cass is probably wisest to do the talking.
So, where are my guests? I know they're here somewhere. Come in. Oh, it's you. Snatch, my boy. One of my favourites, yeah. Come on in. Welcome. Glad you could make it. I see you've taken me up on my offer to have discussions.
Yes, great chief. We have come from Bryn Shander. Speaker Devessa thanks you for your note, and yes, we would like to parley.
Well, right, yeah. Well, Snotch, would you mind maybe just waiting outside and make these guests comfortable? There isn't enough room here. You understand?
Fine.
If we may, Chief, Snitch has been an excellent guide leading us here, and I feel I would like him to stay.
Right. Make a persuasion check, please.
Must remember to come out of my voice.
Hearing that in the elderly goblin is very funny.
Right. Well, of course, a valued member of this tribe. Of course, Snitch, you can stay, of course. You're always welcome. Just wanted to make some more room for our new esteemed guests, that's all.
We don't need room. We can get cozy.
I kind of need room. I'll probably be finding the ceilings quite low in here and a little bit cramped.
Yeah, it's really
Probably
cramped.
got my
It's really
head
cramped.
down.
What with the table in as well? The table takes up pretty much most of the room, and there's enough room around it for goblins to kind of squeeze by if they tiptoe over the shit lying on the floor. You're struggling, Talk, and Threadreader is too.
Unless you want to reacquaint yourself with your tribe, of course, Snitch, we understand. Just hope that your chief knows what a great assistance you have been to us.
There's a few people I could do with checking in on.
Then thank you very much for your help. And Cass will do a proper formal bow.
The fetch is
Tuck
that.
will begrudgingly will do a bow and will probably like shift the table about half a foot across the thing accidentally. Knock something over with his...
I mean, it's a table for goblin height, so it's really quite. It's probably at the back of your knees somewhere.
Chief, have you? Is there somewhere we talk without a ceiling? Perhaps outside. It's a little small in here.
Well, I was hoping we might sit down and maybe share a bite to eat, and then hopefully the height isn't such a problem, but I am keen to make you comfortable. This gob.
I could sit down.
This goblin is. Have I got the artwork?
See if you're trying to do a voice change.
Oh, I'll get some. Let me. I'll just describe. He's got thick furs. It's quite difficult to kind of gauge his bulk, size underneath all the furs and cold weather clothing. There is a lot of metal about this person. I mean, the biggest feature is just dominated by this huge metal lower jaw with kind of sharp cut, like false teeth on the bottom that kind of waggles as he's talking. Just check your passive perceptions. Okay. Probably Cass. I mean, everybody present will know this is weird, it's unusual, but Cass, you will see, as you look more closely, that it's not just the jaw that's quite clearly false. His ears, his pointy goblin ears, they're not real. They're stuck on.
I will let Tom do his thing.
It's his thing.
Tom.
He's written in the Discord.
Oh,
I
what's he?
recognize his name as of gnomish origin. I would look to see if there was anything specifically gnomish about him.
Okay. Are you able to roll dice, Tom?
I think he's logged in, unless he's
Does
got a
anyone
real
else
one.
feel like we're speaking to the other side?
Yeah.
He can make. Well, Cash, you can as well. Both make insight checks,
We can.
please.
Can roll.
Insight then, Tom.
Got good insight.
Mm.
Didn't know.
You've got fucking solid insight. God damn.
Trying to find some art for you. It's a nice piece of art. One sec. I'll find it. Never mind. 13 and 19. Insight. Okay. What did Tom put?
We can't
Yeah, no
roll.
problem. Oh, 19. Okay. You've both encountered gnomes before. He's the same height, roughly. A gnome might be, give or take. Threadreader's already made a note that Karkolohk has gnomish root sound is a root sounding word, and as he's here and looking at this Yarbnock, it means home in gnomish, Karkolohk.
And I can see that this Yarbnock has false ears and nose and stuff.
Yeah, you imagine that they were probably quite good at one point, but it would seem that the lack of resources available to this outpost as the weather has worsened and they are struggling. There isn't a great deal of resource around, and whatever he would need perhaps to maintain his prosthetics is perhaps running out or in short supply, and he's not able to keep this up as well as he perhaps once was.
Then, before we sit, as an emissary from 10 Towns, I would like to shake your hand, Chief, as a show of friendship between your tribe and our towns, and I will step forward and offer my hand. And,
Right, yes, of course. And he'll extend the hand out towards you.
and I will snatch his nose.
Most of it comes off. Oh, shit. Well, I guess there's no need for this anymore. Kind of squeaks the jaw off. Standing before you is very dishevelled looking. Oh,
Still got the voice.
He does, yeah.
It works though. It works.
I'm very bad at this changing business.
It's
I usually
hard,
have a hot.
isn't it?
I usually have a hotkey, and I'm doing it click by clicking the button at the moment.
Well, it is very nice to meet you, whoever you may be.
Yes. Please let me introduce myself. Spellix Romward is my name, my real name.
And is there a real Yarbnock, or is that just a persona?
They gave me the name. My jaw malfunctioned when I first arrived, and it means ever gnawing in goblin, kind of stuck.
They gave you, as in the other actual goblins that you're
Yeah,
dealing.
it's a funny story. You see, all of this, it wasn't intentional. They actually... Let me start at the beginning, shall I? I'm actually a merchant. I was travelling from the south to 10 Towns, and we were set upon by these fine residents of this place, and all of my travelling companions were killed. I managed to remain hidden and undiscovered under most of the wreckage of my caravan. From the wreckage, I managed to cobble together this little disguise. I was desperate, and really it was my only chance at survival. Seemed to work. That was, 3 years ago? Honestly, I'm running out of options. I'm getting pretty desperate here. I thought I could maybe improve their lives a little. They did accept me after all with this disguise, and since the weather changed, I've not really been able to uphold my end of the bargain for these folk, and the treasure I promised and the quality of life improvements that I promised haven't quite materialised.
Hang on, you're not a goblin, are you?
He looks at you, Cass, and he looks down at the 2 ears in his hands, looks at the others.
No, I'm a gnome, but please keep it down. These walls aren't the thickest.
And when you say you hoped to improve their way of life, how did you go about that?
Well, I mean, around this fortress never existed before. We're living in little huts and scavenging what they could, and I managed to bring, I think, a little bit of civilization. Yeah.
Civilization? Would you say you treated them as a civilized people?
Well, I mean, they're goblins, aren't they? They killed my friends. Well, you know, they're goblins, aren't they?
Yes, and you're a gnome, aren't you?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
He kind of says, nodding emphatically as if you get his point.
Oh, so goblins aren't really people, is what you mean? They're just
What?
They're just kind of animals, aren't they? Really?
No. You don't understand, right? Because, yeah, I lifted him up, if you like, and and got all the benefits of. Yeah, I know a little bit about construction and engineering. Tinker a little bit from time to time. As you can see, my disguise is quite ingenious.
How did you motivate them to build all this?
Honestly, it was the promise of the riches that I could bring. I know how the caravans work, where they travel. Set up some rather ingenious avalanches and traps on the side of the road. We managed to get quite a hold in the early days, but only
Oh,
lasted
so
for about.
you showed them how to be civilized by making them live a life of crime, stealing.
Well, that was their life. I just made them better at it. See? And yeah, we were very successful. But then
Have you ever
lost
been
their
trapped in an
bats.
avalanche? Tell me, and it will just interrupt. Have you ever been trapped in an avalanche? Do you know what that's like?
Yeah, I have, and I do.
And you do that to other people on purpose.
You have to understand, it's about survival up here. You're from the north, look at you. I know you are. You're from these regions. It was a steep learning curve for me, I tell you. Well, I've got it now. Or I did. Weather changed and caravans have dried up. Nothing left. And they all look to me. And I know they're looking, they're checking, they're watching me. They're onto me. I need out of here. I need you to take me back to the towns.
I'm not sure.
Help
I'm
with
not
it.
sure you deserve that.
Well, but
You didn't
why?
civilize them. You just made them better at being uncivilized. You just made them more efficient at it.
Well, yeah, so that they could thrive.
Yeah, but now everyone in
They
10 towns
survived.
has got nothing to eat, and these goblins have nothing to eat. You've just destroyed 2 people in one
Yeah,
go.
so if I call them off and, you know, I go back to the towns and the caravans can resume and we'll be back to normal, right?
Right. Well, so your offer of trade was just a ploy because you have admitted you have nothing.
Well, I can trade the safety of the caravans.
Not if
Seems to
you're
me
going to leave them as their leader.
Well, that's exactly how I can guarantee it. They are only as good as they are because of me. Get me back to 10 towns, that stops. Or at least it's the odd scuffle and skirmish every now and again like it used to be.
Hawk is going to be trying to sort of crouch so that his head's not on the ceiling. He will he'll put a clawed hand on the table, and you'll see him just like try. You can see him getting angry and sort of scraping his claws across the table and leaving 5 long marks. He's trying to be quiet and just looking down.
Oh, I'm very open and honest with you here. What I was thinking, right, is if you, I don't know, like grab me or something, and then you pretend that you're, like, kidnapping me, that you're taking me back to 10 towns to face the justice of the town speaker. It'd be quite an adventure, I think. It'd probably convince these folk. And then everything goes back to normal and we'll be all good. Right, right?
That sounds like an excellent plan. You've got this all thought out. Aren't you clever?
Well, yeah, I am quite clever, to be fair.
Yes, well, we just need to...
So you would like me to pick you up like this, and I'll grab him by his shirt. Is this what you've got in mind?
Yeah.
And then I lift you up off your feet, bring you really close to my face, and Tok will open his mouth, and you'll see all the cold smoke start to pour out. Is this convincing?
That's really good. Really good. But save it. There's nobody watching at the moment. Save it.
I'll just let him go.
Oh. I mean, you offered us something to eat. Why don't we sit here and wait for our friend who we'll just ask to come back, because he'll be returning to 10 towns too, I think. And we'll get ready for the theatrics.
Well, you will have to give me a minute. I've got to put this back on. I mean, it's quite the art. You can watch if you like. You might not understand it all, but if you might pick up a trick or two, it's quite entertaining.
Oh, yes, please. Oh, and if we're going to be taking you prisoner, we would probably need to disarm you. You don't have any weapons on you, do you?
No, I haven't needed anything like that. It's all up here with me, you see. All in the mind.
Oh, clearly. Well, I'm impressed. Aren't you impressed? Tok, Neven? Sorry, Locke.
I'm thoroughly impressed. In fact, I'm going to watch very carefully how he does the whole thing with disguising himself, and maybe I'll try to do it myself.
Locke, would
Yeah,
you be
well,
able to tell Eris and or Snitch that we have a surprise for them?
Well, now, how are we going to handle that? Because, I mean, they're from this place. I mean, do they? They
No,
don't
no,
need to.
it's okay. They're with us, and she'll do a big wink.
Right. So,
Do you want to make a deception check, please?
Ock's he's not hiding it at all. He's like his lips curling. There's cold smoke coming out of his mouth. He
That
looks
was
pissed
nearly a
off.
3.
right. So there. I did often wonder what happened to them. I always hoped they'd come back. So, Eris, you say? I haven't seen her. She's here, is she?
Yes, they survived out there.
Did you have a bit of trouble with Eris? Did you? Was she a bit disobedient or rebellious?
No more than most of them. You see, it's the goblin nature. If you spend a long time around them, you get to know the ways and what motivates them. And, yeah, I mean, I run a pretty tight ship round here, but yeah, I mean,
What does motivate them? Because we've been travelling with some goblins. It'd be really good to understand what motivates them.
Well, treasure, for sure. Treasure's up there.
And if there's no treasure,
food is
no
a big
food.
One. Food is a big one. Well, yeah, you do run out of things to try and motivate once treasure and food is off the table, to be honest. But they do respect discipline, I've found. You do respect a little bit of discipline. So, yeah. Same as everywhere, really.
But
I digress.
It's all about the food, and we could see that with Snitch and Eris. It's the money.
I saw the scars on Eris. Yeah, the scars on Eris. I had no idea that was you that did that.
Yeah. I mean, they're scarred. They probably look quite nasty, but they don't feel pain like you or I. They're goblins, see. So it's not the same.
Okay.
So you don't have to worry about that. So hey, and watch this.
And he licks this horrible waxy prosthetic ear that's got kind of hairs sticking out of it, that's stuck to it. And he just wedges it on, and it tip kind of snaps and hangs down a little bit. Yeah, not what it was. You should have seen it when I first built it.
What do you roll to resist raging?
I don't know. I was just thinking that as well. Should I roll? Probably.
And while you guys are figuring that out, Eris, have you been looking for somebody in particular?
So generally just anybody that I recognise. This Marathi that Snitch had mentioned.
Marathi, yeah, you're not close, but you know of her. Make an investigation check, please, Eris.
$11.
Okay. You mingle a little bit in and out of the huts. All the huts are kind of like embedded into the side of this kind of mini peak within this plateau, and they're all embedded at various heights all around. And most of them have rope ladders that run down the side, and that's how you gain access up this cliff face and into these abodes. And you know that typically, if there was any danger or anything, they'd pull these rope ladders up and just hide inside these homes. You do see a lot of people that you recognise. You are a little bit more aloof than most, because of your sort of arcane ability. You were stationed above most of these folk, but they recognise you, and you were never really mean or cruel to anybody, so nobody is hostile towards you in any way. Some surprised looks
I'm still a
to see you
spider.
alive. Oh, right, of course, yeah. Right, yes, it would take you a lot longer then, yeah. But yeah, you do see someone fitting the description.
Once I spot them, are they by themselves? Are there other goblins around?
There are a few other goblins around, yeah.
Do I recognise them as dickheads, or are they okay?
You recognise them, not enough interaction with them to know if they're a dickhead or not.
Okay, so I will drop the world shape,
Hmm.
and pop back into to goblin form, and approach Mirati.
Oh, where did you come from?
It doesn't matter. I bring word from Snitch. He's kind of my friend. We have other friends. It's very complicated, but we've returned, and we're hoping that if people are willing, if you would be willing to spread the word, and we're going to take a stand against Yarbnock. We're going to run out. It's going to be peaceful. I'm hoping that no one will get hurt and that no one will have to hurt anyone. And we've brought some friends, and they're pretty big and they're pretty strong, and they've killed a weird robotic dragon. And I just think if we all stand with them and we stand together, then we might actually be able to not all die and not have to deal with Yarbnock anymore.
What's a robot?
I'm not quite sure. We don't really
Like,
understand what it was.
it's like there was a lot of information coming, and she's just dumbfounded. And she's like,
Shaman, please forgive little humble old me. You say he's alive. Is he here? He's not in danger, is he?
I hope not. He is here somewhere, but he's had to take the big ones to see Yarbnock.
Oh.
But they'll look after him, and they'll look after us too.
You know we only survive here by keeping a low profile. We keep our heads down. We don't cause trouble. Don't give him any reason to be. He's paranoid. You know he's paranoid. That's why everybody's leaving. There's hardly anybody left now. Only those loyal to him.
Only those loyal. Everyone else has gone.
I don't
Have
know.
they gone?
A lot of us, they like you. When they get sent out on scavenging hunts or raids, they look for an opportunity away from his gaze. And if there's a chance to slip away, they do. Look around. Not everybody. There are still some of us left.
Did you spread the word? I'm going to go talk to those with the abilities. Like myself, I'm going to see if I can get them on our side as well.
That's a good idea.
Could you stand with us? Could you stand with Snitch?
Snitch, yeah, anything. Of course. You just want to go back to the old ways.
And we can do that. The big ones will help. They've been really nice.
We're not fighters.
We don't have to fight. This doesn't have to be a war. If we can just show that we're against Yarbnock and they can help us do that, then if there's enough of us, then there doesn't have to be a single blade drawn.
make a persuasion check, please. With advantage.
Bloody hell, where's my persuasion gone? I am not good at this. I'm
Goblin to
really
goblin.
not good at this.
Whoa! Was that a
I'm not
4?
good at
A
this.
6? What was it? A 6?
It was a 4 and a 7, but I'm -1.
Okay.
Was that the right one? Yeah.
Look, I trust you. You've always done right by us. There are kids next door. These are barely kids. Here. Gotta look out for them. And look, if it comes to it, and it's down to, if Yarbnock goes away, there'll be no resistance from me and anybody I speak to. But to forcibly try, and if you fail, we're dead.
We're not
I
going to
can't risk that.
we're not going to be using force. We just need to know that if we were to remove Yarbnock, that people aren't just going to follow his followers. I don't want to remove one head just for another evil head to replace it, and the other head could be even uglier than the one that there already is.
Well, my love, I can promise you that. There's nobody wants another Yarbnock.
Just
But
ask them to show solidarity. I wouldn't want anyone to risk being hurt. You don't even have to move too far from your homes. But if we could just go to the if people would just watch, just be there. No one has to attack.
that we can do. That we can do.
There's power in numbers. So that's what we need. We just need the numbers.
Numbers.
And I know there might not be many of us left. I know.
So we've always achieved
We're not-
everything we've achieved. We're only small as goblin folk. But the numbers. You're right, you know. Anybody I can speak to will be there.
They're talking to Yarbnock now. Just look for the big white one. And
Okay.
then some other big pale ones, but you'll notice the big white one. Try
Okay.
to miss.
Okay,
And
well,
please don't attack them. But if anyone attacks you, if you say that you stand with me or with Snitch, the big ones will protect us.
for Snitch.
The Snitch. Now I
And his
must go. I
father.
need to. Oh shit. I must go. There's others that I need to talk to. And I'll quickly lean in and I'll hug her really tightly. And then I'll run away.
She'll return it. As you hug her, you feel the nervous tremble in a small elderly frame. She returns it with some vigour. There's still some fight in the old girl left.
And then I would like to try and get as close to the cage with the ravens in it as possible.
Mm-hmm. Easy enough to do. You're free to roam this place. The instruction from Yarbnock about his
I
visitors.
can't remember exactly which one it was.
Oh, I can't either. There won't
But I'm
be...
just going to go by this cage over here.
I don't actually think there's anything significant in it, to be honest with you.
I need the ravens.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I'm going to cast Animal Messenger.
Okay.
And so I've got to, let me just display this so I know what I'm doing. So I get to give them up to 25 words, and they will go to a person of my description. So I didn't follow up with you on who I could go to, but I'm going to guess there is some kind of other Biyag that I could send a message to. So I'm going to ask one of the ravens to go to whichever booyog that is, if there is another booyog or someone who was involved in me being a booyog,
Yeah,
and say, let's see if I can get the numbers right on this. So the message will be, Eris the booyog has returned. Renounce Yarbnock. No longer be at his mercy. Stand with the White One peacefully.
And who are you sending that to? Other
So
booyogs.
yeah. So whichever arcane person
Because you
I
would know
think
a
could
few.
be
Yeah.
most suitable. Yeah.
You know of a particular, say, mentor to you, for you, named Manafek. You will direct one specifically to her, along with some others that you know, and some other non-magic users that are just people that you've had more of a closer relationship with. You will send those out. As you're standing on that walkway there, you see most of the ravens fly to these huts. Can you see those from where you are? These huts here.
Yes. The ones at the back.
Yeah. Almost all of the ravens will head to each of those huts. And out of this easternmost hut stands a figure. Comes out, kind of looks up at the sky, shields her eyes from the brightness a little. Looks over, catches your eye on the bridge. Squints a little more, looks back at the raven. Waves.
Always back.
Disappear back into a hut. Back to the other crew. What's going on? Going on, diplomat?
Tok will be trying to, very unsubtly, because he's not subtle in the slightest, will sort of look at Cass and then look of holding. And then look back at Cass.
Will place an arm gently on Tok's arm and shake her head. Because she rolled a 19 for wisdom and knows that she needs to buy time.
Okay. So you just want to get out of here. Back to 10 Towns.
Yeah, there's. You see, you've got to have a business plan, and the business plan that I made this on hasn't got the same parameters. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say about this. Maybe you don't. But anyway, it's quite complicated. Yeah, I need to get back to the towns. I think this squeezes the jaw on.
What if we could sneak you out?
Oh yeah, that works for me as well. Just need to get out.
Oh, I mean, you did say that we don't really want to fight our way out of here. I mean, you did say that goblins don't have feelings, right?
Yeah,
They're not like
not
us.
the same. Not the same. Yeah.
Yeah. I could look back at Cass.
I think our friends should have a say in how we go about this plan. Locke, could you let them know that we're here and ready when they are.
I will. Ooh, no. I've lost connection with them because I can't see them.
Okay.
Eris will be too far away, and I've connected with Cass.
Oh yeah.
I'll just turn into. I can just turn into him. I'll stand into him, and I'll walk out the door, see if I can find Snitch.
Ooh,
That'll
Right,
do
How
just
it.
far did you go?
Just out here.
Did he go? Were you going to look for some friends and family, Snitch, or where you wanted to go?
Yeah, he had a question and then he was just going to ask around and do the odd little thing.
Okay. Yeah, you'd been on the other side of the settlement, probably towards where Eris has just been, towards the homes. That's where your
He's
family would have been.
he intends to stop at the little bridge and just like lean over
Oh, yeah.
the edge and just shout down to Snub, or whatever his name was, going, Snubbles, who was in the
Yeah.
cage?
Okay, so he's too far away for me to see him. He's all the way on the other side, basically.
This one was the last one that brought any coin in. No caravans anymore. This is the last one we got.
So it's not one of ours then.
No, one of them humans.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
You know, they don't feel pain quite the way we do. They're not. You know, you've been there.
oh yeah, sure, whatever. Got a question. If I give you some money, if the tall ones make problems, can you look after Marathi?
What are you saying, Snitch?
It's just a precaution.
Make a persuasion, please. With advantage. How much gold are you offering?
150.
Oh, definitely with advantage.
Oh dear.
Sounds fair to me, Snitch. We've always been good mates. Toss us the gold down.
Now I'll stop calling you Snubbles as well if you do this.
Okay. You toss that down here and then...
Can I
Wise if it...
Can I insight check him?
Sure.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Yeah, okay. Snitch is like a...
What did
like
you
a-
roll? 8.
Yep.
Nubsuk rolled 9 with
Oh,
deception.
No.
well, I fully believe him. So, yeah, Snitch will throw down 150.
But it's a deal. Deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, she always looked after me. She's a good one. She's one of the good ones. I'll take care of her. Don't you worry about that.
Yeah, thanks. You know, I appreciate it. Snub.
He's not even looking at you anymore. His eyes in the pouch. Counting.
Right. And then he'll shuffle off down to the little village area and have a root around. This is funny because Eris has just talked to Marathi, and now I'm going to talk to Marathi as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you don't even have to search because that's where you used to live, so you can find your way straight there. If you'd like to. Go and
Yeah.
speak to anybody.
No, just go straight there.
Yeah.
It's true. She wasn't lying. Is it really you?
Yeah.
She comes over, hugs you to test that it's not an illusion or a trick or. A little bit uncomfortable. You love it, but come on, it's too long. Let go.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm assuming the other one you meant. Well, I was going to call her Little Eris, but she's taller than me.
Oh, yeah. The shaman, the booyah.
Yeah.
Never had one visit the house before. What an
Oh,
honour.
she's a good one.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we've come back to try and deal with Yavnok because he's an asshole.
He is.
Yeah. And I know it's probably going to be kind of hard, but I've brought back some stuff that might help. In the hopes it might grease a few palms. I asked Snubbles to try and look after you if things go wrong, but he's a bit of a weird one. I don't know how well that's going to go. But I've brought
he's
this.
okay.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, he promised to help, and that's the only reason I didn't spit on him from the bridge.
Oh, snitch. I wonder you're always in so much trouble.
But anyway, you know more of the people here. I don't know any of these.
As you're talking, she just spits and wipes a little smudge from your face.
And he'll be like, "Well, I've brought a few things to try and help. I don't know any of these shaman types, and you seem to get on with most of the people in the fortress, the town, whatever the fuck we want to call it these days. So I brought this in the hopes it might help you change people's minds." And he's going to dump a bag of gold on the floor.
Okay, how much you dropping?
1,000 gold.
Snitch, I'm not even going to ask where this came from. Because I don't care. Honestly, I don't care. That's a lot of fucking gold. I love it. I love it.
Funnily enough, completely legally, we found this thing in a Durgar fortress, and when we were back in 10 towns, I snuck off to sell one of them. And the towns were
That's
in
my boy.
the towns were in a bad state, so I didn't ask him for what it was really worth. I think I took 1,000 gold hit, I think, on what I thought I could probably sell it for.
Well, yeah, no, that's... You've got your father's head for business.
Yeah.
I knew it. He's come back to us.
So,
I love you, Snitch.
Yeah, thanks, Mom. Snitch just like suddenly become very flustered in this moment. I got it entirely legally. Just a bit of exploring and legal trading. And I was hoping if we get rid of Yobnok, either you or someone else could probably go and, boss the town around, and they could probably talk to 10 towns, and you could probably trade a bit and do legal things that doesn't really involve killing a lot of people and making us more targeted than we are already.
That's something any of us have ever really done before.
Well,
Trading's not...
Look, we've managed to talk
we've
Durgar into
historically-
trading.
Right, well, I mean...
If Durgar can make fucking peace deals with 10 towns, I think we can manage it.
Maybe we can learn.
I mean, they smash
I'm
stones
up for
for
it.
fucking living. Oh, weirdos.
Yabnok's way hasn't seemed to have gotten us very far. Got a rickety old wall and shit.
Yeah.
Try anything.
And the place seems pretty
Hang on.
deserted now, and,
Maybe we can get him back.
Yeah. And maybe he can stop throwing people off cliffs.
Aye, maybe.
Well, I mean, I like to imagine it's going to put a stop to throwing people off cliffs. Full stop.
I'd like to think so.
Your expression does change a little at the mention of that.
Yeah. Anyway, I left them with Yardlock, so I should probably go and see how they're getting on.
Right, well. My little snitch. Off you go. Run along, you little scamp.
I don't know why people call me that here, but okay. And he'll give Marathi a hug and then toddle off like a little stool bottle,
Okay.
like an embarrassed schoolchild walking back to the.
Okay. Eventually, Locke, you catch sight of Snitch, and I'm not sure where you were heading, Eris. If you were heading back down to the huts, or if you were heading back to the cabin, or.
I think because I've now got the message to like the two main community settings, I don't know. I don't want to go into Yardnock's building. That's a bit too freaky for her. So I think I'm just gonna hang out nearby, probably on the
Okay.
bridge
No problem.
between the goblin community and Yardnock.
Okay. So,
There's an invisible barrier I can't cross to get back to Yardlock's.
where are you, pal?
I'm on the foot of the bridge by the goblin thing.
Why
Next
is
to
there an invisible barrier
Snubbles.
there?
There we go. Thank you. Oh, it's third reader.
Oh yes, I'm just reading a book. Sorry. Not sorry.
Like he's in the room again.
Like he was
I got a
never-
lol from Tom, so it can't have been too bad or
Yeah.
insulting.
It sounds like the kind of thing you'd say that, and I really like books. Books and
going-
such.
I'm going to win the books. Sorry, Tom. Books are my friends.
You wouldn't.
Hello.
You wouldn't see Locke. You would see Yarbnock, wouldn't he?
Locke will telepathically say, "It's me, Locke. You got him. You actually, he kind of almost surrendered himself. I'm not sure if he understood this what he was doing, but regardless, we got him."
What the fuck is this?
Well,
I can't deal with this today. Stitch is just gonna push past and go and sit in the room.
yeah, I'll get back in. Myself.
You'll probably see lots of claw marks on the table in front of Tok, where he's squatting on the floor awkwardly.
We ready then? Can I just...
Clicks his
No.
jaw finally back into place.
No, there's one more. Have you seen Eris, Snitch?
No, do you? You need it here.
I think you should
need-
both be here for this.
We need to know she's okay. If you saw another Yarbnock outside, that was Locke.
Yeah, he said something in my thinker. It was weird. I just ignored it.
Something in your thinker.
Oh, I don't know what
Okay.
it's fucking called.
What do you mean there's another Yardnock outside? What's
Oh
going
yeah,
on?
you're here, aren't you?
What's happening?
You see our friends that left to go get our other friends. He's just made himself look like a goblin, so he doesn't look
Well,
suspicious?
Any old goblin or me, because was this part of the plan?
It's just to go fetch our friends so we can get out of here quickly.
Oh, okay.
I think Snitch's whole idea of getting Eris is he will just step outside and shout for her in Goblin. Just go, Eris, Cass is looking for you.
Okay.
Or Cat and talk. And then I imagine it will just be like the
I take it. Yeah, I was about to say that mean.
Yeah.
Eris!
Eris! Oh, that's not Eris.
So
Okay,
where
so
about?
everyone's assembled. It's back in the where everybody
Oh,
is.
okay, there.
Would just like to take this moment to comment on Tom saying he's loving Snitch's direct approach. Snitch is too stupid for a subtle approach.
He just held it like it is. That's Snitch.
And unless he's stealing, he has no subtle option.
Right,
How
so
did you...
I was just about to say then, if we're all here and ready, the way you had me before, just by there like that.
Yeah,
that
yeah, and
that'll
I'll
be the
reach
way.
out, and grab him, and hoist him up. Cass?
Oh, could you... Actually, no, we'll leave that for dramatic effect. Snitch, Eris, did you get on okay?
In the world is going on?
Oh, okay, so... Oh, Tot, can you make it so he can't scream for help or anything, because he looks...
I don't know what's going on, but I'm like wherein it's going.
Open your bag.
No, because he'll just die.
Not straight away. We can
What?
sneak him out we can sneak you out in Cass's bag, and then you don't even need to risk it kicking off.
If I can fit in a backpack, that's okay.
I'll make you fit.
Hey, you don't die in a backpack.
Okay.
Steve, Levin is going to use 2 sorcery points to cast Suggestion, which means it's one of his signature spells, so he casts it without any detectable effects.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a wisdom saving throw.
Against two.
That is a 6.
No one will say directly into its brain, and nobody else can see this. It's best if you get in the back, that will get you out safer. And you should stay quiet and just listen to every single thing Pop Cass say for the rest of the day. It'll get you out. Just, I need you to trust us absolutely.
To be honest with you guys, I should be getting into this bag. We need to be making moves. So
No.
and I go.
Eris, it's
No.
okay. It's okay. Wait, wait,
No.
wait.
No.
Trust
Starts
me.
climbing in.
Trust me.
They need to see him leave.
They will. Trust me.
Lock can be him.
I'd rather see him leave via the cliff.
This is what we're getting to. I just want to...
Let's open the bag, please.
If he just
You put him
sits in
into
there...
bag or bag of holding?
Bag of
Bag
holding.
of holding. But can we not put him all in there? Because he will die, Tok. But then we can always
Eventually.
go... Be quiet. And then pull him back out. All part of the
And
plan.
it makes. I mean, I know I'm not as learned as you, but if he's sticking out of the bag, they'll see him sticking out of the bag.
This is where we come to, what do you want to do, Snitch and Eris? So it turns out, is he going to be quiet?
Unless anybody has stopped him, he is climbing into this bag because he's been magically willed to do so.
Leave your head out.
That wasn't part of the instruction.
Just don't close it so there's airflow.
I don't know if you can tell, but Yardnock is not a goblin.
Oh,
It took me a while to figure it out, to be fair. Once the noses came off and the ears came off and the jaw came off, it was actually quite obvious.
Oh,
Yep. So he wants to get out of here, so what would you like to do with him?
well, I'd like to throw him off a cliff.
Cool. Who's going to look after the tribes?
I've asked Marathi to do it, or pick someone to do it.
and create a committee.
Yeah, she.
Marty and
probably-
Manafek
Okay,
and a
is that
few others.
all in
But they need
place?
to see. They need to know that he leaves.
Well, this is the thing. Do you want to look
Everything
like
has to be a-
heroes?
Everything has to be above board. If
Yeah.
they think we did this dodgy, then they'll think that we're dodgy, and we don't want that. We want them to think that we went through everything in the right way. So we're
This is
good
why
people.
we're asking what you want to do. Like, do you want to unmask him, as it were, in front of everybody, and
Then throw him off a cliff.
I was just thinking we'd take him back to 10,000. He can have a proper trial and face legal justice.
Yeah, but
That's
if,
Well,
the right. That's the
Can't we have
civilized.
the trial here
I am much,
for the
much
people he
keener.
hurt.
Yardnock has been without oxygen for 1 minute.
pull him out, talk.
I want to see him go
Yeah.
over the cliff.
It'd be, how much air's in there?
Okay, I'm pulling him out.
We've never tried it out. Okay, I'll pull him out.
He should seek trial here.
That's like a really good air seal on that. What have you got on the lid there? That's
Yeah.
it's quite difficult to breathe in there.
Yeah, shush now, Yardnock. So,
Right.
I appreciate what you're saying, Tok, but really, they've not done anything in 10 towns. He's done things amongst these people, so I think they're right. The trial should be here, and we said we would take their lead on this.
Fair. And it would set a good image if you served justice and 10 towns saw that.
So, here he is. He seems to be all yours. And even Locke, what did you do to him? He's gone.
We can pick this up next session if you like, and give you a chance to decide how you want to deal with him. You can formulate a bit more of a comprehensive plan if you'd like, because I'm conscious it's 10:05 now. So
Nice.
you have him in your possession. He seems to be playing along unbelievably with your cunning plan.
He seems desperate to get out.
Yeah.
Guessing he's
So-
running out of earwax or whatever it is that Stick
Yeah.
holds his bits on.
Yeah, he's running out of everything. He was king of the castle and no more. Nice one, folks.
No, thank you. That was very funny.
It was a delightful time.
I loved him.
But
I love
Even
the
though
fact
Top
that
didn't.
Tom is the one saying that we should have left him in longer.
I think we should have left him in longer as well. I don't know how much air in there, but I'm sure there's more than a minute.
I think
There
you
is,
get 10 in a bag of holding, I think. Maybe. I
But
can't
you can hold your breath for a certain period of time as well, based on your
Yeah.
Constitution mod.
Either way,
Yeah.
Snitch is going to continuously push for hurtling him off a cliff until someone talks him down.
Eris says
If that's,
trial by
if that's
goblin.
the sentence, if that's the
Trial by goblin.
sentence, what's trial by goblin?
Just goblin folk. Most of them don't understand how it works. In the end, someone gets chucked off a cliff.
Well, if you need anyone to do the chucking, then
Oh, Snitch is
I
going to
am-
want to do
I
the
am
chuck.
at- in your
he's-
service.
He's going to Sparta kick him right off.
Snitch has got string beatings for arms, but he wants to do the throwing.
This
Yeah, but
is
we
Karkolohk.
we can enlarge Snitch, and then we could have Snitch and Tok
We
do
might
like
need
leg and
to.
wing.
I'd be all right with that. That's a good compromise.
Well, that was easy.
Yeah, I had a plan, and it fucking worked. No one believed in Snitch.
That's because you
I
didn't tell anyone
plan.
what the plan was
Well,
in
no.
any way whatsoever.
Well, no, but every time he was like, "I need money," everyone was like, "No, you have to give it to people who need it." And he's like, people need it back where I'm from."
Oh, wait a minute. What? Wait, when did you sell? What did you sell? What?
Snitch snuck to
Hookah.
Renderil's Emporium to sell the hookah, and he sold it for 1,500 instead of 2,500. No, he didn't. Did he? No, he sold it for
1,000, you said?
1,200. He said 1,200. He
Yeah,
gave over
You
1,000.
bartered. No, yeah, it was more than yeah. That's
Yeah,
it.
he was
So
asking
you've
for
still got
1,500.
you've still got 200 gold. No, you haven't, because you give 150 to Snubblebutt.
Yeah.
You've got 50 gold left.
I've got 50 gold left from the hookah.
Out of
Snitch.
1,200, you've had it for less than a day.
Yeah. Well, Snitch doesn't actually really give much of a shit about money. That's the kicker.
No.
It's just he was just like, I'm gonna buy everyone's loyalty to kick out Yavnok.
He just wants to make his mum
See you, Tom.
proud.
Cheers, mate.
See you, Tom.
Bye, Tom.
See you, Tom.
Bye.
Yeah, no, Cass doesn't care about money. Veronica does, and
Yeah.
I did enjoy your reaction when he was like, I snuck in to
The
sell
gold.
this thing. And she was like, what? And I was like, but I didn't take all of them because they needed it. And you're just like, oh, he's learning.
Jim sent me a message, and I asked for two. He told me what he wanted to do. I asked for 2 rolls. What was it? One was
One was like
an investigation to find somewhere to sell it first of all.
Yeah,
So
and
you
it was
found,
like
you rolled really well. You found Renderil's Emporium, this place. And then the second roll was
Like a 4.
persuasion to do some bartering. I think I rolled a 4.
when Cass
And-
finds out, she will remember this.
Well, he did good. He was a good boy. Yeah, he got a 22 on the investigation to find Renderil's, but then a 4 to actually convince him to buy it for his asking price.
Yeah.
And Renderil was not happy to accept the reduced price. Just kind of like did it like, get the fuck out of here.
Oh, that was good fun tonight. I'm glad you picked up on the bit where it was like, hang on, you're not a goblin. About 5 minutes after.
That was awesome. What? No.
Because that's what he'd do. He's not very perceptive.
Thought Cass went.
Wait
"What,
a
the
minute."
nose?"
It was after the nose, wasn't it?
Wait a
I
minute.
thought you were just doing that trick, where people are like, I've got your nose.
Wanted to make that joke at the time.
Oh,
Oh, and everybody fell in love with your mother, Jim.
Yeah.
The best.
that was good. Especially how embarrassing it was. Perfect.
It's weird. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I've bought you this money, so I'm hoping you can boss everyone around. That's basically goblin leadership. It's the one who bosses everyone around.
Where did all this come from? I don't even give a shit.
Where did you find this? Legally, I don't give a fuck.
I'm so proud.
Yeah.
You take after your father.
Who am I?
Goblins, in it.
Mm. That bit that bit where he was like, "Oh, they don't feel things like we do." It was like, "Oh, that's horrible."
Yeah.
But it was a very cool NPC, I have to say.
And then,
Very cool.
Snub Snuck saying the same thing about humans.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Snook has to die. It's fine. I'm chill with that. I can take the money back.
Yeah. Yeah.
You'd like a pet warg, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Edis would love to ride on a pet warg.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
I'll name it Snubbles after the asshole who I had to take it from.
Oh, Snubbles. Yeah, it's
Oh,
fun.
we've been raided on Twitch. Hello,
Really?
everyone.
Have we?
What?
Yes, apparently so.
Holy
Oh,
shit.
they've came in right at the end.
Well, they've had a lovely recap of some of the episode.
Just as we're all
Heard us all
being
waffling
dickheads.
afterwards.
Hello and welcome to Bonus Action Heroes, where a bunch of nerdy ass normal folk
Non-voice actors.
play
Nerdy
Dungeons and
assholes.
Dragons.
Mostly badly.
Oh god, it's all kicking off now.
What have we done?
Oh
Ugh.
dear.
And by the way, thanks everybody for giving me the heads up that you were going to Yarmouth tonight.
You're welcome.
Oh,
Yeah,
we're more
thanks
than
for-
happy to
Thanks,
contribute.
thanks for directing me in that prep.
Goblin
Going
magic.
somewhere
at
else.
At least you've prepped for that now. You haven't got to do it again.
Yeah, and you were delightfully prepared for all the shit we got up to.
Ah, the illusion
fun.
worked.
That was good fun. That was a
It
great
looked like
NPC.
I was prepared.
That's all it is, isn't it?
Oh, I need to show you this picture of Yarbnock, don't I? Is everyone still on Foundry?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
yeah, go for it.
Ah, okay.
I can't imagine like
Suspense.
the nose is going to be like him having a carrot tied around his face.
Oh yeah. Oh. Oh.
Oh.
God, he's like a shit Iron Man.
Oh, yeah, I didn't describe it very well.
He's got
Yeah.
bumps in him. 3 years, you people didn't notice.
To be fair.
What?
Wait, Snitch has like 8 perception. How did
Goblins!
he not notice?
Eris just doesn't understand metal things.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
Yeah, in hindsight, I am now a bit confused as to how Snitch. I don't know. I guess Snitch is just doesn't really give a shit.
He is a gnome, so he has some inherent illusion magic, and he uses that to fill in the gaps that his disguise didn't quite make.
Okay.
Silent image he has. He can cast it 3 times a day.
He's got to be one of the best NPCs in Icewind Dale so far, I think.
He's the Icewind Dale Pepido.
Oh, so well, we do want to kill him.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Thought you liked Pepido.
I still like Rapido.
Oh,
He
I
is.
can't stand Pepido.
That's because he stared at you with a big grin on his face.
Well, I
Yeah.
thought that was it me or was it
I thought it was Daphne.
It was
Daphne?
Daphne.
Oh, it was Daphne.
You know, I'm
It was
picturing those two out of Game of Thrones, don't you? The I can't remember the characters' names, but you know, the guy with the big ginger beard.
Oh,
The-
Tormund and
Yeah.
Brienne. Yeah, that's what that
and
is,
Brienne of
definitely.
Tarth, looking at Brienne of Tarth.
That was pretty much what I was picturing.
His name Tormund
hell.
or something, I can't remember.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Tormund.
Tormund Giant's
Exactly.
Bane.
Does
Great.
have a bit of
Yeah,
Tormund
okay.
energy, doesn't he?
He does, but he only speaks in the third person,
Yeah,
which
and
I
it's
think makes it even weirder.
very exacerbating.
Tormund's just generally more likable, even at his weirdest.
Oh, Tormund's fantastic.
Yeah.
Burpedo is not based on Tormund in any way, shape, or form.
Comparison withdrawn.
Ah. Well,
Anyway.
hello everyone that's joined us. Unfortunately, we're just finishing up, so we should probably try and
But
ping
go
them
back and
somewhere
watch from the
else.
beginning, and it'll
Yeah.
make sense. It won't.
Go
It
watch
was
all
a
of
good.
our stuff.
It was a good session. There was no violence, but it came pretty close. But yeah, superb
go and-
encounter. Thanks, Steve.
Go and watch the rest
Very
of our
good.
games on the YouTubes. We also play Curse of Strahd and Out of the Abyss.
Yeah.
Yeah, safe to say we're addicted, isn't it? Really, we've got a D&D problem,
There's a
and we
problem.
don't intend to get better.
We have a problem, and that problem is we can't play as often as we'd like.
There are other days, and unfortunately, I have to go to work. But
Yeah.
right, I shall.
Well, very good, folks.
Yeah, thank you, Steve. That was very enjoyable.
Steve.
Oh, just before you close off, I don't know if you managed to get it at the start of the stream. Credits. Some credits here.
Okay, go for it. Yeah.
And Foundry.
Sneak them
Flash
in
them
real
up.
quick.
Just flash them up for a smidge. And then we're good.
Yeah, good. I'd say it's a good map.
Thanks to all those people. Oh, that's out the book, that one.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. It's out the book. But some of the scenes
The animated scenery
nice.
and things. That was lovely. Yeah.
So thanks very much to all those creators.
Can't see anything.
Appreciated. I'm not. Oh, really? One
No.
sec. There we go.
There you go. There you go.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, check those
cheers.
out. I actually use animated dungeons and dynamic dungeons as well. They're fantastic. Wizards of the Coast. That sounds familiar. May have heard of them.
Oh.
But yeah, superb. Right. I shall close the stream down then. Thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.